Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Liz, and today is the last part of my 4-part series for the month of May. This is going to be the last of my summer tier tray themed videos. So today's theme is a watermelon theme, and I'm so excited for this. I had so many requests to do a lemon themed tier tray, and I thought this one was so much fun, and all the things that I came up with I'm just absolutely loving. And stick around for more information on my watermelon craft kits later on in the video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. For this DIY, I'm going to take one of these wooden circles that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I took it out to my saw in the garage and I cut it into 3 different sections. Just make sure you're being careful when you cut these. So I'm just going to start by painting the outside portions in this dark green. It's from Waverly. I believe it's called Morganite, but I could be wrong. And then on the top portion, I am going to do a stripe of a lighter green, and this is in my Waverly chalk paint and celery. After that, I'm going to paint all the inside portions in my Waverly chalk paint and lacquer. So essentially, you're just going to paint these to look like a watermelon. You got your dark green, your light green, and your red. I also did mix up a little bit of pink, so all I did was take my red Waverly chalk paint and add a little bit of white to it, because watermelons aren't just one plain color with the red. They got, you know, that lighter pink streaks throughout it, so I did do that to kind of give it a little bit more dimension and so that it kind of resembled a watermelon just that much more. After I've got all of that on there, I'm going to take a really small detailed brush and my black chalk paint from Waverly. It's in ink, and I'm just going to create the little seeds just by tapping it on there as best as I could. Some of them kind of looked like cheetah print, but you know, it'll be fine. After all my seeds are painted, I'm just going to place them in this adorable little galvanized bucket that I got from Hobby Lobby. I tied a little bit of some twine around it, and that's it for this DIY. For this one, I'm going to take one of these palettes that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and again, I'm going to do the green, the light green, and then I did add some white and then some red. So again, you're just going to paint this to resemble a watermelon. So this first little slat on there, painting in my darker green, I did go over like the last fourth of that slat with some of my celery chalk paint. And then I painted more of that celery chalk paint on the next one. And then I did add a little bit of a stripe of white between the celery and the red. So then for the rest of your slats, you're just going to go ahead and paint that all in a red paint, making sure that you get all of the inside little slats there that you can see. And I completely forgot to paint the sides of this, so I am going to have to go back through and paint the sides so that it's a finished piece. Once everything is painted, I'm going to take some black paint again with a little detailed brush, and I'm just going to put some seeds down in, you know, that watermelon U kind of shape, just on those middle 2 slats. And then I cut out this decal using my Cricut. It says Sweet Summertime. I'm going to cut that into 2 different words, place it on my transfer tape, which I get from expressionsfinal.com. I always have that linked in my description box. And then I'm just going to place my decals onto my little sign, kind of center them as best as I possibly can, remove the transfer tape, and you got this adorable Sweet Summertime watermelon sign. So today I'm launching my watermelon themed craft kits over on my website, moredecalanddecor.com. I'll have it linked in my description box. You guys, I am so overwhelmed and so incredibly thankful for everybody who has supported my craft kits and our online business. It absolutely means the world to me. So I want to give back, and I'm going to do a giveaway with all 4 of my craft kits together to one lucky winner. I'll also be throwing in some little goodies here and there, and I'm just so excited. So you guys, thank you guys so much. I wanted to give back in a way to say thank you guys. If you guys want to be entered in to win all 4 of my craft kits for summer, leave me a comment in the description box. Tell me what your favorite season to decorate is. That'll be it. Let me know that in the comments down below to enter to win all of my summer craft kits. You'll have 2 weeks to enter, so no rush. 2 weeks from today will be the last day, and then I will announce the winner on the following Monday. So make sure to check the description box. I'll have the winner in there, and then I'll also post it in my community pages. All of my items are going to be restocked today as well. I've had a lot of people asking if my patriotic kit would be restocked, and yes, go check out on the website. They are up and ready to go. And then also a lot of people are asking about the peach theme kit. I will still be doing that later in the summer, so stay tuned for those. And let's jump into the next 2 DIYs, which are part of my watermelon craft kit. So this is probably my absolute favorite piece in my whole watermelon kit. You guys know how much I love the gnomes and how adorable is he with his little watermelon hat. I just think it's so cute. So one thing that I've learned over all of this, painting every single kit, is paint markers are your friend. I don't know how long that I would spend painting it with paintbrushes and dipping back and forth and making a mess. For these kinds of things where you kind of need that, precision paint job, paint markers are so much easier to use. So I have these paint markers from Arteza. I'll link them down in my description box, but they were so handy with this. Obviously, you can use some regular paint for your bigger pieces. Right here, I wanted to make sure that my red was all the same color, so I just filled in those portions with my red paint marker. But for his beard, for example, that's a pretty big piece, and using a paint marker on that would probably take a while. So I just used some regular paint, just my Waverly chalk paint and silver lining, and I went over his entire beard, and then I switched back to the paint markers for his feet and then for the watermelon in his hands. So I just think these are so much fun, going through and painting them all, and I've absolutely loved seeing all of your guys' pictures of them all complete and on your trays. I'll insert some pictures here of some of my customers' pictures. They are adorable. You guys are doing such a fantastic job, and I'm so happy that you guys are loving them just as much as I do. I just think they're so much fun. So now when you are gluing these together, one thing that I like doing is using some clear glue. This is just glue from the Dollar Tree. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but I do like using clear just in case it seeps out. You're not having glue showing between, your 2 pieces. And there is the little gnome all finished and complete. I think he is so stinking cute. Now, I thought these were so much fun as well. You got your little watermelon flip-flops. So again, I'm going to use just some regular good old paint for this. You don't necessarily need a paint marker to paint the flip-flop. And the nice thing is that you can still see those engraved lines, so you can just paint the black seeds over the red, which is what I'll do here in a minute. So I'm just going to paint my flip-flops in my red chalk paint and lacquer from Waverly. Once that is all finished and complete, I'm going to take the little top portions of the flip-flops, don't know what those are called, the parts that hold your feet in, and I'm going to paint that with my Waverly chalk paint and celery. And I just went over it with one good coat. I didn't do anything too crazy or too fancy with this one. And once those are painted, then I'm going to take my paint marker and go over those seeds that are engraved on the flip-flops. Really easy to do, especially with a paint marker. So I just go through and fill in all of those seeds. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take my clear glue from the Dollar Tree and I'll glue on that top portion to my flip-flop. There are engraved lines so you know exactly where to place them. And that's it. So easy, and they are so stinking cute. Now for this next DIY, I had my husband cut me out a cutting board with our laser, and he also cut me out 3 pieces of a circle. Just took a circle, cut it into 4 pieces. There you have it. I was doing this and I'm like, why is this not a part of my kit? This is so cute. So this piece inspired a piece that is going to be in my watermelon kit. I just think it was absolutely adorable. So I am just going to take my cutting board and I'm going to stain it using my Waverly Wax and Antique. And I'm actually using a baby wipe. I've had some of my subscribers recommend this technique and I love the way that this turned out with using a baby wipe to wipe on my wax. I just think it's so cute. And then I'm going to take my 3 little wedges, doing the exact same thing with some darker green, lighter green, and then red, and then painting on your seeds. Really easy. Again, the thing that I like about painting watermelons is you don't have to be perfect with it. Watermelons blend together. There are all sorts of imperfectness. They have a lot of imperfections, and I think that's what's great about painting them, because I don't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to paint all 3 of my wedges, get those looking all nice, and once those are completely dry, I am going to hot glue them onto my cutting board. Now for this one, I'm going to hot glue them all in a line, which I think is really cute. You'll see that the one in my kit is a little bit different, but I think that one is super adorable as well. So this is all you got to do for this DIY. I think this turned out so cute. You have little watermelon slices on a cutting board. I just think it's so fun. So for this one, I'm going to take this black chalkboard that actually came off a piece from the Dollar Tree, came off one of those tags, and I'm going to take some large popsicle sticks. I'm going to measure how long I want these popsicle sticks to be, because I'm going to paint popsicles on them. So I just cut 2 of those out to the size that I wanted them, and then I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in white, and I'm going to paint this chalkboard. I did do about 2 good coats on there, and then I'm going to take those popsicle sticks, and again, following the same watermelon routine, doing some dark green, some light green, and then some red, adding your seeds on there. It's pretty self-explanatory, really easy to do. Just painting some stripes is really all it takes. So nothing too complicated here. Once that is done, I'm going to go back over to my little chalkboard. I'm going to distress it using some Waverly chalk paint in mineral, and I just went over it, distressed it, and then I'm going to add some faux shiplap lines using a ruler as a guide for my lines, and then I just use that same ruler as a spacer in between each line. And so it created 4 lines on there, and then I deepened up the lines using my same Waverly chalk paint in mineral. I'm going to go over that a little bit more, and then to kind of blend it in, I wanted to use a baby wipe, and I just kind of smeared those lines around, and I really like the effect that it gave. So I'm just loving the distress little backing on this one. I thought it turned out really cute. And then I'm going to take a white marker, and I'm just going to draw some little highlight lines around my popsicles, and then I'm going to hot glue my popsicles down to my sign. I didn't want these to be evenly, spaced on my board, so I put one a little bit higher than my other one. I just like the levels that it gives this sign. And then I was going to draw on my popsicle sticks, and I thought, you know what, why not just use some popsicle sticks? So I cut some popsicle sticks down using my miter shears. I left them completely plain in that, plain wood color that popsicles normally have, and I just hot glued those in place. And that's all you're going to do for this DIY. I think this one turned out so cute. For this one, I'm going to grab one of these mini mason jars that I got in a pack from Amazon. I'll have those linked down below. And I'm going to, once again, paint this into a watermelon. So first, I'm going to take my lighter color, and I'm going to paint the bottom third in this color. Now, one thing that I will say is that between each coat, when you're painting on mason jars or glass in general, you want to make sure that those first layers are completely drying before you go back over with your second layer, or else it's just going to lift the paint up and you're going to have to go over a billion times. So I made sure to put my mason jar to the side in between each coat so that each coat could dry completely. And that's what I did for all of it. So I'm going to paint the bottom portion in that light celery color. I'm going to paint the top portion in my red. And then I'm going to go over the celery color with some stripes of my darker green. And then I'm going to use my black paint marker again to draw on seeds all over the red portion. And then I do take a white marker as well, and I go in between the green and the red and just kind of draw a line around the two. And then I'm just going to take some white florals that I had left in my stash, stick them right in, and you have this adorable watermelon planter. For this one, I thought, you know what, you can't have a summer watermelon theme without some ants. Ants and watermelon, they go together. So I'm going to take this tile that I had left over from a sign from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take some scrapbook paper that I got from Michael's. I just traced the size of the tile, and then I'm going to use a glue stick to glue my scrapbook paper down to my tile. And then using my Cricut, I cut out this super cute little ant. I'm going to just weed my vinyl, add it onto some transfer tape from Expressions Vinyl, and then add my little ant to my scrapbook paper. Now, I was feeling like this sign was looking a little too plain, so I decided to take some burlap ribbon and I just cut this into strips. And I just hot glued this around the border of the tile, so it gave it a fun little border to it, and I just thought this turned out really cute. And I love the fact that this tray is going to incorporate some ants. If you have any other really cute ant DIYs that you can think of, let me know. I was racking my brain trying to figure out what I could do. I was tempted to go on Amazon, see if I could find some like little ant toys, like little miniature ants, but I didn't. So if you have any other ant ideas, please let me know in the comments down below, because I think it would add so much fun to my tray. For this one, you guys know I absolutely love these little wooden rolling pins that you can get from Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to use one in this video, and I'm going to paint this again just like a watermelon. So this middle one is going to be red, and then on the ends I'm going to paint them in my light celery green, and then the handles will be painted in my darker green. I'll add some seeds with my black paint. Really easy to do. You could add some words on here, that would be really cute, but I just liked the simplicity of this one. After I've gotten everything painted and it's all dry, I'm going to take some gray and white buffalo check ribbon. I'm going to tie it around the top portion and tie it in a bow, and that's all you got to do for this one. I think these are so cute. Again, you could grab multiple of these, write sweet summertime on them, juicy, fresh watermelon, you know, all the watermelon words, and that would be really cute as well. And then for our last one, I'm going to take one of these little trinket dishes that I got from the Dollar Tree quite a while ago, and I'm going to start by painting the bottom portion in my dark green. And I only did one coat of this because I liked the fact that some portions looked darker than others, and it had a bunch of, you know, kind of dimension with that light and darkness to it, and that's what a watermelon looks like. It's not just one solid perfect color. So I did just do the one coat on the bottom, and then I also took that same color and went around the rim on the top portion. Once that was dry, I'm going to take my celery chalk paint, and I am going to paint on the inside all around that rim until you get the flat portion of the trinket tray, if that makes sense. So you'll paint the entire rim before it goes flat. And I did do a couple coats of this one. Again, making sure to set this to the side, let it completely dry and cool down, especially if you're using a heat gun on it. Let it cool completely down before you add your next coat. That's just what my experience has been. If it's hot and you try painting over it for a second coat, it's just going to lift that first coat up. So I just did that with the green, and then for the red, again, having to do multiple coats of this, just making sure that it's completely dry and cooled down before I went in with my second coat. And then I'm just going to use some of this pink mixture that I created with some red and some white. And I just kind of dabbed this in between my green and my red, give it a little bit more dimension. And then I'm going to add my seeds using a small detailed paintbrush and some black paint. And I think this is so cute to sit on your tray and add other little trinkets to it. You could put your beads from your garland on there or whatever little pieces that you have. I just think this one is so adorable. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my tray all together. I'm going to add everything. I just kind of lay everything out and then just start adding my pieces. And I switch it around probably about 1,000 times until I get it the way that I like it. And that's it. I think this turned out so adorable. Let me know what you think in the comments. And that's it for today's video. Let me know what your favorite project was in the comments down below. Again, a huge thank you to everybody who supported my summer craft kits. It means the absolute world. My watermelon theme is now live up on my website. Click the link in the description box to go check it out. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave. Give this video a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.